Living in the Alaskan bush is no easy task, yet the Brown family has proven over and over again that nothing is boring about it. Whether it's for the lighthearted nature and humor, their imaginative ways of solving problems, or even their family drama, the Browns have successfully charmed their way into the audience's hearts for several years now. Nonetheless, the success of Alaskan Bush People is drastically contrasted by the many hardships faced by the Browns in recent times. Starting with the destruction of their home, the many health issues of some members of the family, and the unfortunate death of one of them, there's no denying that difficulties have placed a toll on the Browns. So what role does the estranged Matt Brown play in all of this? What happened after he left his family for good? And how is his relationship with them now? Is there any chance of him returning to the show? Stay with us to know all. Those who haven't tuned into Alaskan Bush People in recent times might be surprised to find out that the clan's oldest son, Matt Brown, is completely absent from the show and his family's life. Matt's been estranged from the Brown pack since 2018, having struggled with several issues, including alcoholism, criminal accusations, and more recent, the death of his father, Billy, in 2021. While it isn't rare for Matt Brown to find himself surrounded by trouble, the last couple of years has seen him having a simpler but seemingly calmer life away from his family. According to an In Touch weekly report from late 2022, Matt has been living on his own in the North Cascades Mountains area of Washington state. Despite Matt's nearby location to his family's current North Ranch home, his relationship with them is as estranged as it was back when he left the pack a couple of years ago. As well, Instagram updates from Matt in 2023 show that he's been exploring his adventurous side by embarking on trips all around the country in his pickup truck, on top of updating on his apparently successful path to sobriety. All in all, Matt's current life seems to be different from his times in Alaskan Bush People, but it's not lacking in tranquility despite all the issues he has faced so far. But when Alaskan Bush People premiered in 2014, audiences were taken by the out-of-the-box lifestyle of the Browns. The family's lack of technological knowledge was one of those weirdly charming aspects that fans equally appreciated and raised eyebrows at, so it's really surprising to see how much technology and modern communication has become a huge part of Matt's current life. While Matt's Instagram account has been actively updated since the time he left the pack in 2018, he's been exploring the world of content creation in more recent times. As Matt writes on his YouTube channel's description, his content follows his path to recovery, offering his audience a personal insight into his self-growth philosophy. Matt's content is a far cry from the often funny and chaotic Alaskan Bush People, yet it's interesting and undeniably entertaining. Some of the travel miniseries he's posted so far include Road Wanderer Not Enough Runway and Built in the Air, though Matt hasn't shied away from sharing other more casual parts of his life, such as his visits to the dentist, his holidays-themed drawings, and recovery center videos. Since starting his YouTube channel in 2019, Matt has gained over 30,000 subscribers and 1.4 million views combined. When the 8th season of Alaskan Bush People aired in 2018, and Matt was nowhere to be seen, and fans have often wondered what pushed him to leave the show, and for such a long time. Matt's departure coincided with the time the allegations of rape were filed against him in 2018. That year, Matt entered an alcohol rehabilitation program in California, where the family had temporarily moved with the matriarch Amy, who was undergoing chemotherapy to cure her lung cancer. In an interview with People back then, Matt's parents Amy and Billy lamented his situation, but affirmed that they prayed for his recovery. Despite his parents' words, it's still probable that Matt's relationship with the Brown family isn't a good one. Besides not returning to Alaska with the family after leaving rehabilitation, in a 2021 Instagram video, Matt accused his father Billy of keeping $300,000 of his earnings from the show for himself. "I'm cold, and I don't have any money, and I hardly have anything to eat," he claimed. Although it's unclear if Matt's financial situation has improved with time, it's evident that there were too many things going on with his life, which prevented him from appearing on TV again. Even though the Brown family has refrained from talking about Matt in the show, or even explaining the reason for his absence, they haven't shied away from marking their distance from the estranged man in other ways. In April 2020, rumors about the supposed tense relationship between Matt and the rest of the Brown family surfaced when his youngest sister Rain excluded him from her annual World's Sibling Day post. As well, his siblings, except for Bear, refrained from wishing him a happy birthday that same year and the following ones. Also, a report by The Sun claimed that most of the Brown pack had given Matt the cold shoulder after his sexual abuse allegations were brought to light. Fan suspicions about the rocky situation between the family were confirmed a while after Billy's death, when Bear addressed the issue in an Instagram post. It's heartbreaking that he would say such horrible lies about Dad just a few months after he passed away. He wrote in April 2021 in regards to Matt's claims of not receiving money from the show. Later in November 2022, Bear once again lashed out against his older brother on the pic-sharing platform with similar words, making it evident that their relationship hadn't improved despite the passing of the time. The hardest time faced by the Brown family was the death of Billy on the 7th of February 2021. As revealed by Bear, Billy suffered a seizure and died not long afterwards. As seen in several episodes of Alaskan Bush People, Billy had long suffered from respiratory issues and even underwent surgery in 2019, which seemed to stabilize him for some time. However, in early 2021 episodes, his daughters Rain and Bird mentioned that Billy's health had been declining, but he had stayed on his feet to keep the family's farm running. Regarding the state of the relationship between Billy and his oldest son, in an Instagram video from the time, Matt affirmed that he was fortunate to clear the air with his dad right before he died, admitting that he had been aware of his bad health for some time. While Matt's later claims of having his money taken away by Billy surely put him on his family's bad side, that hasn't stopped Matt from showing his appreciation to his father through social media by cooking some of his recipes and remembering him on the anniversary of his passing. Although Matt Brown's alcohol abuse tendencies might come as a surprise to many Alaskan Bush People viewers, his problems aren't new by any means. Matt first went into rehab in 2016 as he'd often get drunk while out and around in Juneau, Alaska. As he told People, he was used to the city life, but the lack of limits of people he hung out with was a free pass for him to increase his drinking habits, and with it, he went downhill emotionally speaking. "I was more withdrawn. I was slower. Things didn't excite me the way they used to," he said. Despite saying that his problem had apparently been hard to admit due to his fear of being perceived as weak, Matt ultimately went into rehab for a couple of months. However, his return to Alaska brought back his old habits, ultimately pushing him to re-enter rehab. Back then, as reported by People in 2018, Matt's father Billy said, "We miss him terribly, but we'd rather lose him from home for a little while than lose him forever." Regardless of the good wishes that Matt's family sent his way before entering rehab for a second time, the relationship between the Browns would never be the same. After staying in the California-based Betty Ford Rehab Center for around 6 months, Matt remained in California and had a long time to think about his issues and his family. As he affirmed in an Instagram post from July 2020, his time in the center taught him more than just staying away from substances, also giving him the tools for processing, addressing, and dealing with the negative feelings and events of my past that I just couldn't get over, he wrote. Since leaving the center, Matt regularly posts updates on his recovery process and his positive sobriety status. Nonetheless, he's also made some other eyebrow-raising claims about his situation, claiming in his infamous April 2021 tell-all video that he was provided drugs by Alaskan Bush People staff. While his claims have been denied by his brother Bear, it's clear that the relationship between Matt and his family has many more layers yet to be uncovered. The sexual abuse allegations against Matt Brown are by far the most serious scandal ever faced by Alaskan Bush People. While the news came to light for the first time in 2020, the alleged incident apparently took place in the summer of 2018 while the family were in California. According to The Sun, both women who came forward with the allegations were former staff members of the show. One was a production assistant who claimed she was sexually and physically assaulted in July of that year in a pool by Matt, who was apparently in a drunken state. The woman affirmed that she was saved by Matt's manager, who also claimed she was abused by the oldest Brown son only 3 days after the first alleged incident took place. In the latter case, she affirmed that she'd undergone hip replacement surgery not long before the incident took place, hence leaving her in a debilitated physical state when he allegedly drunkenly abused her. As seen in text messages posted by The Sun, the first woman confessed the situation to Matt's brother Gabe and Bear, who apologized and promised to make him pay for his actions. The incidents were also reported to Los Angeles authorities, though they refused to prosecute. Despite their pursuit of a tranquil life away from civilization, the Brown family has faced their fair share of legal problems. Even the late Billy Brown had a criminal record for theft and residency documents falsification, the latter for which he and his son Joshua pleaded guilty in 2015, facing a 30-day arrest, several fines, and the restitution of $21,000 in funds the family illegally took from the Alaskan government. Matt is not safe from having a past similar to his family, as in August 2013, he was arrested for driving under the influence and causing a bit of a ruckus in Juneau, Alaska. According to a Radar Online report, Matt was seen hitting a parked motorcycle while driving a 1986 Volvo. When interrogated by officers, Matt was allegedly nervous and didn't pay attention to the police questions, later claiming that he suffered from attention deficit disorder. As well, the car Matt was driving didn't belong to him, but to a girl he'd been seeing before the incident, of whom he couldn't offer a name or any type of identification to the officers. After failing the sobriety test, Matt was arrested, then bailed by his father for $250. While Matt Brown's fans and followers would surely be elated to see him back on screen, the truth is that Matt returning to Alaskan Bush People is an unlikely possibility. Besides Matt's currently rocky relationship with the Brown family, his negative claims about the show's staff, the sexual assault allegations against him, and his long history of substance abuse make it safe to assume that the network is unlikely to consider Matt's comeback to the small screen. That being said, fixing his relationship with the Brown pack seems to be the first step for Matt in reconnecting with his roots and returning home. But will that ever happen, or is it just wishful thinking? Only time will produce those answers. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.